Scott Krug is the head of New England Low Vision. He's a great resource in the area. We really enjoy working with him. He's he'll be able to describe his business better than I can. But Scott is a wealth of knowledge, and we really appreciate having him in our region to be able to serve clients across Vermont as well as most of New England.
So, hello everybody, and thank you for joining us for our time together today. Some of you might know me, and I'm going to presume that most of you don't, however. And so my name is Scott Krug. The company is New England Low Vision and Blindness. I started the company in 2009 after many years in the field of low vision and blindness, working for a variety of companies and agencies. And an opportunity arose where someone expressed the opportunity of starting your own distributorship. So in 2009, I did that, worked out of my basement in my home here in Worcester. And then, here we are almost 12 years, 13 years later. I was a one-man band, and now we have two fully functioning operational low vision technology showroom in Worcester, Mass. And I had an idea, or I thought that most of the people who were attending today were mostly consumers. That's one of the channels. That's how we describe a lot of our customers in terms of channels. So for example, there's a VA channel, there's a state channel, doctor channel, and then also one of the channels among many is consumers. So I wanted to talk to you all as in the audience of consumers, and to let you know a little bit about us and our process, and to go into some of the technologies and services that we offer. So who we are and why are we unique is that we have, when I mentioned before, I started with one supplier. Now we have almost all of the suppliers in the market under one roof. And when we share the screen a little bit, I'll go through some of the brands that we are carrying right now. So it's really nice to be kind of this low vision technology superstore, low vision and blindness technology superstore, where you can have a chance to try the products. We recommend almost 100% of the time, unless you already know what the product is and you're just upgrading, we recommend that you try the product first with a demonstration. So it was a dream of mine to have everything under one roof, so you can have a lot of consumer choice and compare and contrast one model against another in each of the different product classes. So that's a really big part of why we are unique, and we cover all 6 New England states from here in Worcester. We recommend that you come to our showroom here in Worcester if you can. We realize and recognize that some of you cannot experience the fullness of the showroom, so we can bring a portion of the showroom to you at your home or your work or your school. So we do provide in-home free demonstrations and to consumers, and if you aren't able to come to see us. The process that we have is, we have so much, it seems like so much stuff from when we first began. And so if you're new to technology, or even if you're a seasoned veteran and you know a lot about technology, it still can be daunting going to our website or coming to our showroom and just being overwhelmed by all of the technology. And you kind of wonder, where do I go and how can I organize what are my next steps? So our process is pretty thorough and pretty comprehensive, whereby we move very slowly as a technology and training company. We have about a minimum 20 minutes. That's very short, but it's usually about 30, 40 minutes, upwards of an hour of time on the phone. And we have a conversation about you and to learn a bit about your experience with technology. Some people have been using technology for 20 years, and some people have absolutely zero experience. So we want to make sure that our conversation is geared to where you are at. We have at least 3 to 4 people answering the phones when you contact us during normal business hours. And if you are unable to reach us, then it goes to a answering service. So it's important for us that your experience with our company is always speaking to a human being, whether it's during office hours or after office hours. I'm one of the people, I don't know if you're the same way, where I just hate getting lost in these menus and mazes of trying to figure out who we're going to talk to. So we always have a human person picking up the phone, granted that sometimes they're all on the line. So you'll at least be able to leave a message with the human if it's our answering service, and someone will get back to you within an hour or within 24 hours at the most, depending on the time that you call. So we start with a very long conversation, all right? The analogy I have, to a degree in which I use often when people come visit us, is if you can pretend you're going to Home Depot or Lowe's and you're going to go into that massive store and shop for a tool. How do you know where to go into this massive store? That's kind of the experience of coming into the massive options that are available by way of technology. So the reason what gets you to go where you want to go in that store and with our showroom is, what is the job? So if you know you're going to hammer some nails, you know you need hammers, then you know what area of the store to go into at Home Depot. And so we're kind of asking the same question behind our conversation is, what is the goal? And so what is the goal with the technology? One of the answers is, well, I'd like to kind of see everything. Okay, so we try to prioritize the things that are important to you. What is it that you're really trying to accomplish right now if you had to organize them by way of priority? Are you trying to see your computer better? Do you have a PC or a Mac? Are you using an iPad? Are you using an Android? Are you using all of them? Or do you need help with your smart home setup? Or do you have any remaining vision and you need to talk about blindness products? Are you using any type of note taker now? Do you need any type of embossing? If it's low vision, do you need something to go with you when you're traveling? Are you using any apps? Do you have any knowledge about video magnifiers at all? Do you know the difference of the classes of the different types of video magnifiers? So there's a variety of questions that we have, because in the end, if we know that we're pretending that we're the person contacting us for the first time, if there's not a fit with the technology, it just doesn't work. And so we don't want anybody leaving here with a bad experience, not having the right technology. So it's a lot of customization. There's a little bit of a joke on us that, we wish sometimes to a degree we could just offer hamburgers. How do you want your hamburger? With a little ketchup this time, maybe some cheese, maybe a cheeseburger. It's kind of simple. But with the technology, we find that every single conversation is 100% totally different. And we're often reinventing the wheel because we're customizing each conversation based upon each unique person. So that's a bit about our process. Sorry if it was a bit long-winded. So to sum it up, it's just having an extensive conversation, fairly comprehensive, to get to know you and what it is that you want in your experience. Okay, then we organize the conversation into 2 worlds: a digital world that we all live in, that's email, internet, texting, and then also the second world is the real world. It's this paper here. Read this paper, this piece of mail, this document, this newspaper, this newsletter, this magazine, this prescription bottle, this cooking instruction. It's something physical in the real world. So we're trying to solve these 2 worlds, the digital and the real world. We have all of the leading software. If we're talking about the digital world, we first say, if are you a PC, are you a Mac? There's a lot of built-in applications within the Mac, also within the PC nowadays, depending on the age of your PC. If you can't use one of these built-in accessibility features in trying to access your PC or your Mac, then we invite you to look at some software. Usually it's Zoom Text, or it is Fusion, or it is JAWS. Those are the 3 primary softwares that are being used for people who use a PC. We also have a conversation about Android tablets and also iOS and iPads. So we kind of really gonna go through the list of what are you using now to become accessible with accessing all of the digital formats of your life. And then where we find some gaps, we try to introduce things that people are using right now, and to see if that would be helpful to you based upon your technological know-how and competence and your willingness to learn. So we try to implement some strategies and techniques to help you with that digital world. Once we kind of check the box and we kind of go through all the digital world, then the second world we try to solve is the non-digital or the real world. How do you read the things that are right in front of you? And that's in large part what you're going to see on our website. There's a couple of things behind me. We couldn't put the whole showroom on screen at one time, but the website, which I'm going to share in a second when I share the screen, and also our showroom, are really showing things in large part trying to solve the non-digital world. And so if we have the two worlds, we talked about digital and non-digital. When we talk about the non-digital world, then we organize that into 3 categories. So this is very important to help know the process of how to look at the technology. So the 3 categories, number 1 is portability. So we have a conversation about portable magnification. And we show a variety of portable options from all the major manufacturers. And I would say that in my almost 30 years of doing this, I can't remember a time when someone has purchased 2 portable devices. So we look at all of the portable options to select one of them. So I'm going to bring out maybe a portable or 2 in a second. And then after we have the portable conversation, portables, just so you know, the smaller units, they're about the size of, usually it's about the size of a cell phone, about that size. So it's very easy to carry with you. That's how we define portability. You can kind of put it in your pocket or your purse and take it with you when you're out and about and on the go. Portable units are very good for reading small, tiny bits of information that are important to you to make a decision. So what is that? That's a phone number. That is a prescription number. That's an expiration date. That is, who is the mail from? How much is this bill? When is it due? What does my calendar say? So it's not reading a novel. It's not doing a lot of writing tasks. You're not looking at a distance with a portable. Mainly a portable is using it for reading short bits of information when you're up and about and on the go. So if you know that about portables, now that you do, maybe you already knew that, then it helps to really put what the objective of that tool is. If you know what a hammer does, then you're not upset when it cannot unscrew a screw, for like a screwdriver would. So a portable is really used for reading short bits of information when you're up and about and on the go. Okay, so we checked that box. Next thing of the 3 categories, we got portable. Then the next category is non-portable. Non-portable is also, you'll see a lot of these on our website from all of the major leading manufacturers. And the non-portable, again, the same rules apply, is that in my almost 30 years of doing this, I can't remember a time when someone has purchased 2 non-portables. So you look at all of the different non-portable options in order to select one of them. There may be a time or 2 when someone has purchased an identical non-portable because they had 2 homes or 2 locations and they want the same one in each spot. But usually 99% of the time, almost 100% of the time, you're looking at all of the non-portables to select one. And so, do you like the camera out in front, like the camera behind? I don't need to know about your visual acuity, what maybe type of eye condition that you have right now. So we kind of help to customize which non-portable of the ones that are available is best for you. So the non-portable is the second category, and this is the opposite of the portable, whereby I mentioned the portable is used for small bits of information. The non-portable is your productivity tool. This is the device that you use to get all of your stuff done. So all your reading, all your writing. And even extra things like even light tooling, using it with different hand tasks or craft tasks. You can do personal hygiene tasks like clipping nails, or guys have used some of the non-portables for shaving, ladies' hair and makeup. There's a lot of different uses beyond the number one and number two reasons people purchase a non-portable is for reading and writing. So those are the main judgment criteria that we use. Is this helpful to you to become a better reader and a better writer, and to help you get stuff done at home, at work, at school? And so that's non-portable. So those, if you think of, we started with the digital world and non-digital world, or the real world. So we're talking about the non-digital world right now again. And in that we have three categories: portable and non-portable. And those are the two primary categories that people are looking at in our showrooms when we come to their location. There's a third category on our website and in our showroom, and I call it mainly a less used or a specialty category, and it's called wearable. Wearable tends to make the phone ring. People are very interested in wearable products, and we have a large variety of wearable options from many of the leading manufacturers under one roof here. And so what we're trying to do with wearables, when someone contacts us about wearables, is people's expectations for a wearable are extremely high, and the reality of the product is much lower. So we're always having a conversation about goals and priorities of the wearable to make sure that the expectations are in line with what the capabilities of the product can do. So the wearables are not a primary category of the three I mentioned. You have portable and non-portable. Those are three primary categories, but the wearable option is more of a specialty category. A specialty category, if you're going to equate it to the analogy I've been using with tools in a toolbox, the non-portable is like a hammer or pliers, same thing with a portable. These are your primary go-to tools that you're always going to use. They're in your tool belt. You're going to use them all the time. The wearable is more of a specialty tool. And a specialty tool is kind of like that tool that you have in the garage. Maybe it's a circular saw, or it's a sawzall, it's a power drill. You kind of bring it out for a specific task or project, and you put it back. And that's kind of how I equate a wearable. The wearables, as soon as I say that, people say, well, I can use a wearable for reading. I can use a wearable for writing. Okay, a lot of people cannot. So we just try to really put the expectations that are realistic based upon our experience. I am speaking very broadly. So for some of you who might be listening and say, well, I'm using my portable video magnifier to read books and long documents, that's great. Most people cannot. So we're speaking generally. Most people are using portable for short bits of information, a non-portable for productivity tasks, and a wearable, the main function is for looking at objects out at a distance. That is the main purpose of the wearable. As soon as you say that, people do use it for a light reading task and light writing task and a variety of other tasks, but one of the main things is looking at things at a distance. That could be a theater, movie, presentations, could be watching television, could be going on vacation and seeing things that are on your vacation tour. When coronavirus was not around, the wearables were going to a lot of school events and watching plays and musicals and activities at school. So we have a couple of stories we could share about where people have purchased wearables and what they're using them for, but it's usually wearables purchased for the one thing that the portable and non-portable are unable to do. Okay. So that's a quick snapshot. I know that was a very broad explanation of to all the technology. And so what I wanted to do is just kind of show you a couple of those things right now. By first, let me see if I can do it. I'll start sharing my screen. And so this is the website. The name of the company, if you didn't hear it, is newenglandlowvision.com. So the website is the abbreviation of New England, which is NE. So it's nelowvision.com. When people first see it, they see Nelo Vision. We don't know what that is, but it's nelowvision.com is the website. And it has become a really good repository for many people to get a lot of information when they're hunting and searching for products. Okay, so if you're all are able to see the website, which I have now on screen that I'm sharing, and if it's not there, Dan, just butt in and let me know, because I'm just presuming you're all seeing the website. What we have, if you sum up our entire company in 3 words, it's technology, it's training, and it's care. So you'll see this verbiage throughout all of our marketing. We have all the technology that we feel is available, or almost all of it, under one roof. And then we have a lot, we almost can divide our company in half. We have a lot of training services for the technology that we offer. And then, of course, it's extremely important, equally, the trinity of our offerings, care, is equally as important as the other 2, whereby we provide a lot of care, a lot of time, a lot of attention, a lot of understanding. We try to go really above and beyond to make sure that the technology is just not an inanimate object that you're buying off the shelf somewhere. But it's really, we realize that technology is very expensive, and it's very personal, and we want to make sure we get it right. So we involve a lot of care, so much care, into our technology and our training services. So that's our company slogan, which you'll see most everywhere. The website is designed that way. So we have on top the technology products. We have low vision products, we have blindness products, and we have software products. We have information about our training services. I'm going to go to the About section and just click on our suppliers. And there, if you just wanted to know just by the brands which suppliers that we have, you can easily click on them and see which of the suppliers that we're now representing. And so they're almost all of the main names that you're familiar with if you're involved in low vision and blindness technology throughout the years. And we're constantly adding new technology. Some people have said, I've got a new product. I want to see if you can offer that as well. I guess we're getting about 20 or so companies from China that are always asking us to represent their products, but we have been reticent about continually adding more and more of the same things. So we try to get a little bit different of the major leading suppliers. So we may be adding some new ones as time goes on. One of the new ones that we added was a new company called Vision Buddy. And we like that company a lot as one of new wearables. So I'll speak a little bit about that. I'm going to go back up to the top again and go to resources. And this is something that I think that you might find very helpful. In here, you're going to see resources by state. So if you have any clients, or if you want to know what resources were in the New England states, we have them organized. If we want to add something to it, you can always let us know. We have rental services and sale items. So I'm just going to click on the sale items. Cost is always a big thing, but we're always updating our pre-owned equipment list. And you can always download our pre-owned equipment list to see what's there. I'm just going to click on it right now. And so we have a variety of options on our pre-owned equipment list that you can look through. And that is always changing. And that is all under the top banner of resources. I'm going to move into blog. This is probably the first one I wanted to show you. I'm going to click on the blog. And this is because I wanted to show you these categories on top. Whoop, let me get that back to where it was. I don't know why that's so big. Okay, and we're going to go to top choices. So my mouse and cursor is on top choices. And this is what we spent a lot of time on, is putting together, people wanted to say, and I'm saying this to myself too, how do you organize all of this stuff? And so what we have here, we've just kind of organized, and this changes a bit year to year, but what are the top wearable glasses on the market today? So we have top wearables, top low vision handheld devices with handles, the top portable devices, the top low vision aids for educators who are in schools, the top low vision devices for consumers. So this is all in the blog underneath the top choices section. If you click on the top choices in the blog, it will organize that for all your top choices. So let's just click on, for example, the top wearables, the collapsibles, because the collapsibles, what I wanted to show you here is that a lot of times during the coronavirus, with people not getting out, they want a product they don't really need a whole lot of training on. It can be shipped to them, they can open it up, and we can talk to you on the phone, and you can easily set it up, and you can move it from place to place within your residence, or even carry it out of your house if you needed to go somewhere and set it up somewhere else. So this one here, the category is called Top Collapsible. So I mentioned before that there were two primary categories, non-portable and portable. So where does collapsible fit in? So if non-portable is on one end and portable is on the other, collapsible is right in the middle. We almost could call them luggable. So these are video magnifiers that are luggable. They're not portable where you can't put them in your pocket. You can't do that at all. And they're not non-portable because you can move them. So we call them luggable. So we have a listing of them on our collapsible section. I'm going to go back to the home page. And on the home page, if you scroll down, which I'm doing right now, about 3/4 of the way down, you have these categories listed too: desktops, collapsible, portables, text-to-speech, wearables. So you have a couple of ways to kind of get into some of these organized lists if you wanted to look at some of the top ones of that class. And one of the ones that I wanted to focus on right now is called the Magnalink 1. The Magnalink 1 is a foldable, collapsible video magnifier that's one of our least expensive ones on the market. This does not have a distance camera. This does not have a, let me see if I can enlarge this picture here. Give me 1 second. It does not have a battery. It's a 17-inch monitor, and it collapses down and it can be folded and brought to any place within your residence. So I'm just scrolling through a couple of pictures. This picture on screen right now is of somebody just having it in the collapsed view. It is a 17-inch monitor, and most of these collapsibles are over $1,000. But this one, the company is called Low Vision International. This particular one is being offered for $23.95. So again, as soon as I say $23.95, when I first hear that price, it's like, whoa, that's a lot of money. And that's the thing about this technology, is that it is a lot of money. If they were in every Walmart, every Target, the price would go down. But you have a company like mine in that has to cover 6 states in order to make it work. So it is a small market, and that's generally the reason why the prices are so much, is because it's very few people buying them as a collective whole nationally and globally. But this is one of the least expensive ones that is collapsible and foldable at $23.95. So I wanted to at least highlight that one to you. I'm going to go back to the list here of the blog and show you some of our top wearables. And so there's a listing there: Patriot Viewpoint, Vision Buddy, New Eyes Pro 3, the Iris Vision, eSight, the Jordy, and Idaptics, to just name some of them. Some of the collapsibles with the handle. There are some people, it has shocked me that there are some organizations that are recommending portable handheld devices without a handle. So I could not believe that. But so we have listed here the kind of the top 6 ones with a handle, because you really do need a handle to hold it up and view things. It's really hard to grip without a handle, but you have some a little bit more expensive than others, but you have the top 6 ones there with a handle. You have other portable electronic ones that are on screen now. Most of these, where we can, we put a video to it. If you can't find our own video, there are plenty of videos on YouTube. But at least on all of these pages where you have the top 10 list, for example, the first one here, the top portable on the market, of all of the portables, almost known to man, let me put it that way. I'm saying that kind of tongue in cheek, but of all the portables available, the number one for many years, the most popular, is the Ruby XL HD. So I'm just going to click on that. So when you see it in the list there, the top one is the Ruby. When I click on it, it brings you right to the product page, and you can see all the different information about the Ruby, the price, how to order it. You can even order it on the website if you wanted to order it right there. We always recommend, as I said in the beginning, that you have a demonstration of these products first prior to ordering. But you will see a lot more information about it. And then you also have access to either the video here or the video download here. So you have a lot of information that you need about the product, even prior to speaking with us, or after speaking with us. If we recommend something, we give you a link to the product. I'm going to go to the next page of the top 10 products for schools and educators. The first one on the list is the Magnalink Tab. A lot of people have not known about the Magnalink Tab. This one is pretty pricey, but you're getting a full functioning computer. A lot of the technology today, unfortunately or unfortunately, is geared to people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. As soon as I say that, there are, of course, exceptions to the rule. But a lot of the technology today, they're trying to build for people who are technology, illiterate. So they have very few features, very simple controls. This product is the opposite of that, the Magnalink Tab. The Magnalink Tab is feature rich. This one has all the functionality that a student or a working professional might like, where it can connect to your computer, you can work with your email, you can work with distance viewing, near viewing, you can write on the screen, you can use a stylus, you can connect Bluetooth objects to it. So this has all of the functionality, text to speech, everything. And it's also portable and you can take it with you. So on this particular top 10 list, you have a lot of these students are smaller. A lot of these products are smaller ones for students that you can take with you and carry and connect to your technology when you're up and about and on the go, moving from one place to another. So you just saw the transformer from Enhanced Vision, one of our popular devices. This one's the Reveal 16i from HumanWare. This has a built-in Android tablet right on the screen. It's a distance camera. So as you go through the list, each of these options here are very popular for students and educators, for at least to look at and to know either what you're not selecting. If you weren't aware of what was out there on the market, you have now all organized into one spot with all of these categories. The top 10 low vision aids for age-related macular degeneration. So if you're a senior or you work with seniors who have macular degeneration, here are the top 10 lists for products that you at least need to begin to look at for selecting a product that can help someone with macular degeneration. So again, each of them will have a link to the product that you need to go to and a little bit of a snippet under as you scroll down as to why it's on the list. So just helps to focus where the technology is and maybe why you might want to choose it. These are the collapsibles again. Okay, so now that you've seen all of that, what I'm going to do is go back to the main screen. I'm going to share the screen. So I apologize for those where that might have been too quick to follow conceptually. Maybe it was helpful for some. I'm hoping it was for most. I want to let you know that we're trying to what we call sometimes is crunch 20 pounds of potatoes into a 10-pound bag. So we're trying to put a lot of information into a small segment of time to hopefully benefit the majority of the people who are listening. But I have to say that this is the complete opposite of what we normally do. So if you were going to contact us, we slow down quite a bit. I feel like I'm going very fast to try to hit all the main topics before we stop in about 10 minutes for questions, but we go very slow. We make sure we give you all of the links. We make sure we help to inspire questions and situations and circumstances. We make sure we arm you with prices. So all of the technology and the training services is 100% completely understood. So if that was too quick, again, my apologies, but we do try to slow it down quite a bit for when you are with us on the phone or with us in person. What I'm holding up right now is a product that is not on our top 10 list because it was recently released. And this is called the CloverBook Pro. So I'm going to hold it up this way. The CloverBook Pro. Dan, I want to, if you don't have this, Dan, as far as the video of this, for those of you listening to me, you may have heard of Sam from The Blind Life, does a lot of videos. He just recently, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, did a video on the CloverBook Pro, and he called it the best video magnifier he's rated. So we really like this product a lot, the CloverBook Pro, and this is good for seniors as well as for students. So this does collapse down. It is not a Prodigy tablet. It is not an iPad. It's a self-contained unit. It's very rugged. And this is good for near viewing and distance viewing. What I like about it are several things. Number one, is it's very lightweight and portable. And it can show somebody, if you're working with someone who does not know what a video magnifier is, this is something that professionals can carry around and say, hey, this is a kind of a sample of what a video magnifier is and where they've come from. This screen, a lot of times I don't like these types of products because the camera inside is not that good. And when the viewers look at the image that it's on screen, it looks tapered, like you're looking at the credits at the end of a Star Wars movie. Whatever they did on this product, it has a really good image and it's not tapered. Secondarily, what I like about it is you can, on other products like this on the market, you have to buy a separate camera for distance viewing. This camera for distance viewing is tucked right into the side. Let me see if I can hold it up right. So it's this camera right here. Just gonna untuck it and it just pops up. So that's really convenient. You don't have to pair anything. You don't have to charge anything else. It's right there, built right into the system, and it has really good optics. And you can control the maneuverability of the camera by this little brown tan piece that I'm twisting here, and then that is viewed on screen. So what's also nice about the viewing of this on screen is you can have half the screen show distance and half the screen show near, which is really slick. You also can divide it in half so it's not horizontal, but it's vertical. So half the screen is distance and half the screen is near viewing. So you can work on your material while you're watching the screen at the same time in the front of the classroom or they're looking at the PowerPoint. They also have this extra piece, which is really nice, and it just sits into the back of the unit. So it just sits in right back here. And they provide the USB, the HDMI cord. Let me hold this up to the monitor the right way. So what this does is provide a secondary screen, which now, there's a little bit too much of a glare there, I can see that. Now the top part is your distance and the bottom part fully is your near viewing. So instead of splitting only the bottom screen, now you have a much wider field of viewing options. For the top screen is the distance, the bottom screen is the near viewing, or you can flip it. Maybe you wanted the top screen to be your near viewing and the bottom screen to be your distance. So it has a lot of feature-rich functionality, and you can use tweezing to make it bigger and smaller, which is what I like. Or what's also nice about this, for people who do not know how to tweeze, is you can use these dials as tactile dials for changing the magnification and changing the contrast. So that's really nice. So the CloverBook Pro, it's a great video. We do not have a video on this yet. We might not even put a video of this up there because Sam's video is just so good explaining as to why this is, in his opinion, the best video magnifier he's ever seen. So that's the CloverBook Pro. I wanted to highlight that. I think, I could go into a lot more. Let me go into one more. Okay, one more. Let me pull it off the shelf.
And Scott, if you want to send us Sam's video for that, we can include that in the notes as well.
Okay, I will definitely do that. Okay, so we have a lot of different wearables. Let me just make a note for Sam's video. All right, got it. All right, so we have a lot of different wearables, as you will see in our listing of wearables. This is a new one. See if it says it on here. Yep, there it does. Vision Buddy. So Vision Buddy looks like one of our other ones called the E2 from New Eyes. And New Eyes is coming out with, in a matter of weeks, so it's very close, a wearable glasses that's the slimmest wearables that has ever been created. So that's good for people who like the cosmetics, but a lot of people with central vision loss with a small wearable do not have a large screen. So it's complex. It's not even though it gets people excited because it's a small, lightweight wearable, the one that New Eyes is releasing, and it could be good for those who are listening. I find that people with central vision loss, which is a large majority of our clients, prefer the wider screen because you have a lot more viewing field, 101 degrees of view. Why I'm highlighting the Vision Buddy is that if you have any clients whose main interest is to watch TV, all right, so we try to, as we know, what is the goal? If TV viewing is the goal, and there are a lot of people who really want to watch TV more easily, then you have to see Vision Buddy. Why is this unique? Is two reasons. Number one is the TV is beamed into the glasses, so you're not staring at your TV. You can be having these on and look up at the ceiling if you're in your bed trying to go to sleep, or just feel comfortable leaning back, and maybe outside on your porch. You can look anywhere, it doesn't matter, the TV is beamed right to it. That's pretty good, but the number two, and this is kind of the knockout punch as to why this one is so good, is what I'm going to say next. You can magnify the direct feed of the image being sent to you. So the TV is being beamed here. On these types of functionality in the past, that was it. You really couldn't magnify it. It was just the image being sent to you, and it was pretty good. It was big, but you couldn't magnify it. This, you can magnify up to 10 times original size, the viewing screen. So it is very much, you can make it when you want to. You can increase and decrease the size, very quickly. You can make it so that you're in a front row of a movie theater where you have a giant monitor right in front of your visual line of sight. And so if you wanted to see the ticker tape down at the bottom of a financial screen, if you're watching the ball game and you want to see the score, the hits, the strikes, the miles per hour of the pitcher, you can focus in on that area. You can make the TV screen so big. So it's very simple to use. All you have are two buttons, and it does require a person on my team or a professional in Vermont, if it's not our team, to set it up to your cable. After that, then it's very easy for someone to just turn on and use it. So the Vision Buddy is something I wanted to highlight because that's relatively new to most people, and it's not using a built-in camera. So the weight is distributed by the back. We have some of the electronics and the front, so it's lighter weight than some of our even more popular ones, like the Iris Vision is extremely popular. The Patriot Viewpoint is probably our most popular, but this one has been helpful for those who really want to watch TV. We also, as you know, have eSight, and I want to make sure you are, for those of you who want to be in our distribution list for emails about the new Eyes, the slim one, they'll be a little bit bigger than my pair of glasses, more like a pair of sunglasses. If you want to be on the list to receive information about the New Eyes Pro 3, then we can always send that to you. So with that, I'll stop. I don't see any text, Dan, but I wanted to open it up, the mics, to help answer any questions that people might have.
I was just going to say, so I know a lot of us, me and a few other people, are completely blind. Are there any wearables you offer that would help completely blind people as opposed to visually impaired people?
So the only major wearable that I know for someone who's completely blind is Orcam. So we used to represent Orcam. We now, if you're interested in receiving a demonstration on Orcam and you have a hard time contacting them or getting the local rep, then let us know, because we have a relationship with the local representative. And that one is a small scanner that attaches to a pair of glasses that turns your text into speech. We found that
I've heard of that.
We found that a lot of people were using apps to do that, like Seeing AI, and or using Ira or Be My Eyes to help solve some of those tasks. So we didn't have a lot of interest in that product, but that to me is the only product that I know that can be helpful for turning text into speech for someone who's totally blind. So I want to also mention, and we don't represent it, but the two services you want to know about is Ira, AIRA, and Be My Eyes, which is their kind of competitor, where you have a person who's looking through a camera that's on your head, person who's sighted, that tells you if you are unable to see what's in front of you, if you're totally blind, they're navigating what's in front of you. So at the supermarket, maybe having trouble with your computer screen, so there's a pop-up window or something's going on you can't tell, or whatever the case may be. People use it for taking walks. The two companies are Ira and Be My Eyes that have been very helpful.
And if anybody needed help downloading those apps or learning how to use those apps, let us see, we can help you out.
I didn't go into a lot of the blindness products, but we do offer a wide variety of blindness options, from Braille note takers to Braille displays to book readers to embossers. So with those as well, we have a lot of we don't have a lot of consumers purchasing these types of products. These are mainly purchased through an agency to help with the cost of them. But I'd be happy to talk about that more with anyone who is interested, and if needed, set up a demonstration with you or with a local counselor.
Yeah, I have a question, Tom, here. Are there any devices, and I assume the technology isn't there yet, to connect the glasses to an iPhone? I assume Bluetooth is too slow for the visual part of it, or any wired.
So we can do it the opposite way. We can send
Right.
the iPhone image to a pair of glasses, but we can't send a pair of glasses image when I'm looking out at there to my iPhone.
Okay, no external cameras. That's what I've always been looking for.
Yeah, because they use the Samsung Galaxy phone as the main primary repurposed technology inside the Iris Vision and the Patriot Viewpoint, but
Okay.
Apple's iPhones are so proprietary that they're not going to open that up.
Right, okay, that's what I figured. I was going to say, all of your products are on the electronic side, right? No non-electronic vision aids or whatever.
Yeah, that's our main criteria. Is
Okay.
We almost kind of say as a kind of like a rule of thumb, if your handheld optical magnifier is providing enough magnification and enough viewable field, you don't need us. But what we have is the next step. If your handheld magnifier's magnification is insufficient and the width, the field of view, is too small, then these video magnifiers provide a lot of magnification and a lot of width.
And do you have a rule of thumb? Because I've gone through the whole thing from 2070 to about 22,200, 22,000, whatever, some ridiculous number. At which point especially the glasses, the distance one, really you could tell somebody, you can look at them, but it's probably not going to be beneficial.
So we have a good sense, but as soon as I say 100%, I have two quick examples. A person in Rhode Island who was 21,000 and he wanted to see a wearable. And it just turns out that in his line of sight, almost 95% of his ability to see, he was unable to see. But we just realized after working with him that, if you think of a clock in your mind, like around 6 o'clock, there was an area that you could see at him.
Okay, he had good vision, right? He had field defects, but there was still an adequate field to give him. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a couple of examples like that where you think, well, that's not going to work based upon the visual acuity, and all of a sudden people can see, and it's a very moving experience and it changes their life. So, we have a broad way to answer that, but we really will answer you honestly when we talk on the phone. This is what we think, but if you want to try it, you can try it.
There's nothing to lose by try, is what you're saying.
100% correct.
Hey, Scott, I got a question that was texted to me from Vicky. She's having some technical difficulties, but she wanted to ask if any of your portable electronic magnifiers also have OCR or speech output connected to them. Yeah,
there's one that, there's a couple of them. So almost all of the wearables now, like the Orcam, have text to speech. So That's another reason why we don't have the Oricam, because a lot of people wanted vision and text-to-speech. So the Vision Buddy, I didn't mention it, has text-to-speech. It's a portable product, as well as many of our wearables have text-to-speech. Then you have the CloverBook. This is also considered portable. A lot of machines like this have text-to-speech. Then the handheld ones, none of them this size, like the size of your iPhones, they don't have text-to-speech. It's hard to compete in this market for manufacturers, because you can get text-to-speech on your iPhone with Seeing AI, hold it over it, and it does a great job. So the next field up is about an 8-inch or 10-inch, and it's the compact that does have text-to-speech. So, you know, it's a broad way of answering it. So there is a yes, but you have to kind of parse it out in that way.
That's a great answer. Thank you, Scott. And I like how you explained why certain sizes of electronic magnification don't have that. That's very helpful. Thank you. Any other questions for Scott?
Yeah. Do you have cohorts, and so you're just dealing with New England? Do you have cohorts in other places? The only reason I'm also work with through the American Council of the Blind, the Council of Citizens with Low Vision International, and we'll definitely put your website on our website as a link. Do you also have cohorts that you could recommend other parts of the country?
Well, so the answer is yes in this way. So this is what we didn't plan on this, but you know, in the low vision and blindness field, over the past couple of years, a lot of the companies that were privately owned were bought by venture capitalists. So you have a lot of, it's just a different way that they're conducting their business. And what we have done is, and I don't know why, I couldn't tell you why, I don't know the mind of Google, but our website does get a lot of traffic. And so we end up giving, it's rare we get a lead or two from a manufacturer. Years ago, that wasn't the case. We would get a lot from manufacturers. Now it's almost zero. And now our company, again, I can't tell you how or why, we're doing something right, but we're giving about almost 40 leads a month to other states, to manufacturers and companies in other states, because everyone's contacting us from across the country. So we'd be happy to do that if you have your, people are just looking for an answer, and usually they get dead ends. And not that we do anything special. You know, we were taught, you know, the rules of success are do what you say you're going to do, show up on time, and say please and thank you. And so we kind of try to do that on the internet too. So we respond to you and we say, hey, we can't help you. We're in New England, but you know, you're in Indiana. Okay, so this is the company. They have a local rep here. Contact them and let us know if they don't contact you within 24 to 48 hours. And then we'll help to kind of put a little heat on them to say, hey, what's going on? But most of the people we send the lead to, they want to help out, and they're happy that we're the conduit. So we'd be happy to be the conduit.
Okay, that's really good. So I'll definitely see about putting you on today on our website.
Thank you. Well, I'm gonna change my screen on you guys so that you guys can see on screen. You're gonna hear me in the background, but I'm gonna put up a different filter, so that, and you might see me kind of. I'll go out of the way. You'll hear me speak, but I wanted to just thank you for your time today. I see we're encroaching on 11 o'clock, but you have our information on screen. I will be sending Dan some follow-up links to Sam from the Blind Life and on the Vision Buddy. And if you have any other requests of me, you can always reach us at info@nelowvision.com. Our whole team sees that email and responds fairly rapidly. Or, you know, my email is Scott, SCOTT, at the same suffix, nelowvision.com. So I appreciate your time and attention, and please keep me posted how we can help.
All right, and there's one more question, Scott, that just got texted me from Vicky. If someone's vision is ever changing, and they may start off visually impaired, but eventually go blind, and they have purchased a product such as the wearable device, is there a buyback or a resell of it that is possible through you? And she mentioned that she heard you said you had some pre-owned products on your website.
Yes. So, so the short answer, unfortunately, Vicky, is no. There is not a buyback policy. So as soon as I say that, then I can parse it out, because there's not a big market for it. So the technology that we have on our website as used equipment is in large part equipment where we have placed at organizations and eye clinics, and it's just kind of timed out in its lifespan, and we need to either remove it or upgrade it. So they're in great condition, but they're not no one's asking us to resell their equipment. So I want to give you guys a little tip. You know, we did this and we're very successful, but we haven't done it in a long time. It was Amazon. If you try to sell your equipment, your used equipment on Amazon, if you have an Amazon account, then that seemed to get us a lot of our hits. Why we stopped is because sometimes we would, like, for example, a telesensory Aladdin. Some of you guys might know what that is. We would get a couple of these things back, and someone from Indiana would want it, and there's no box to ship it in. So it would always arrive there broken. So we had a lot of machines going to somebody who was purchasing it out of state, and it would arrive broken. But a wearable, we would say, look at things like Amazon, like eBay, spread word of mouth. Facebook has a lot of places where you can sell stuff. I would try that first. I would also, you know, depending on your finances, I would look to donate it to an organization, and they would give you a tax receipt for your donation. Then the last resort is us. You know, if you're going to upgrade, depending on the quality of the product, the age of it, are working with the manufacturer, we might be able to give you some money. So my first answer was no, but now that I said no, once you know that, there might be some wiggle room that we could work out, but I don't want to get anyone's hopes up that we can do that. So there are some occasions, you know, the unit was still in working condition. We had a market for the product, and we could give some residual value off of a new purchase. So there's ways we can work around it, and those are some of the options.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott. And thank you very much for your time presenting today. And we're going to go ahead and stop the recording here in a second. And